Well, here we are, we're back at the Bad Boats, and I'm fortunate to have Terry Swift with me. Now, Terry, I've known for a long, long time through past experiences in the motel industry, and Terry's been in boats for a long time, and he's going to help me over the weekend just to give us a bit of better insight when I look at some of the 6-litres, some of the big blown boats. And Terry's here because he now crews on this magnificent piece of machinery here, Mongoose. So you want to give us a quick rundown on this boat and what goes on?
Okay, this is a child's play hull, 21 footer. They're one of the top 3 makes of boats that race. It's got a 550 cubic inch big block Chev in it. It's making around 2,000 horsepower.
Sounds good. So we'll keep an eye on them and what they're doing, and Terry's just going to, I'll grab him when I can, have a look at some of the boats, talk to some of the people because he's been around a long time, and I appreciate your help for the weekend, mate.
No problem at all.
Saturday morning, everyone's sort of warming up, getting ready. So this morning they have some qualifying runs, just individual runs with each boat to get some times, and then today we'll have some heats, and then tomorrow the bulk of the heats and the finals. So lots of variations in styles of blowers, manifolds, the way they're set up. So I believe we ended up with 21 boats turning up, as in the blown boats at least anyhow. Looks like this one's about to fire, so I'll just get back a bit. Terry's lined me up to talk to Chris. Now, Chris is the main organiser of the event, is that correct?
That's correct, Howard.
Yep, and you're from Tassie, I believe.
Correct, yeah.
So, mate, beautiful boat. I see you were going pretty well yesterday.
Yeah, this is a motor that I had to get off one of my other mates because I blew my good one up on the 27th of December, so we're in mad panic to make sure we can make it. So we're just sneaking up on this nice and quietly, you know, just slowly.
It's a nice mate to have.
Yeah.
I'll just borrow one of these engines.
Yeah, he's good.
Mate, tell me a bit about the event. So obviously it hasn't been run for a few years.
Yeah, the event, the first one I did this was Chris Knutsov gave me the idea from Sports Film to instead of running a series, just run a couple of big events. So we got the Americans over in 2007. So my first one was 2007, and then we had a few breaks because I lost a lot of money on that one. So then we went to, it was 2016 before I get it going again. Then 2019 we had a regular thing going, and then we had COVID and floods up here. So that threw us out.
And I find it interesting because even in the car game, people think, oh, the promoter makes all the money. A lot of promoters lose a lot of money before they get to a point where they can actually get to a profitable event.
Yeah, well, my main aim is I'm a plumber to make money. This one here is to promote boat racing and make sure I don't lose money. I'd like to come out of it so I can buy all the boys a beer. That's the ultimate aim.
Yep. Well, good on you for having a go. And
yeah, we got. Don't forget, we've got to plug my live streaming, because that's also, like, you can look on our Facebook page of Australian Bad Boat Championships, right? And that's a link to the live streaming.
Yep.
And if you see our live streaming, it's done by Chris Knutshoff of Sports Film, which is very professional. That's the only way I run things.
They've got plenty of gear here.
Yeah.
No, I've seen one of their links they put up.
So that'll help cover the cost, you know?
Yeah.
So I need as many people to get on that as possible.
All right, so hopefully we can help. So we'll actually go up Thursday. So you're running again next week in Berry?
Next weekend in Berry, same deal again. Like everyone will be just, this is the break-in weekend. It's a very, very good break-in weekend. And then the next weekend is down at Berry, is a bit bigger track. Everyone can stretch their legs a bit more. So
I wish I could be there, but it's not going to happen. So good luck this weekend.
No worries.
And good luck with the event. Thanks, Chris.
Thanks for that. Thanks.
So they're all firing up now, so you can see the crowd all of a sudden heads off in another direction for the next one to warm up. It's pretty exhilarating to stand next to these things and hear them really rough idle at cold and then warm up. This one over here is a bit different, it's a bit quieter, it's twin turbo. Interesting now how virtually every boat is sitting there with a laptop. There's some methanol trapped in there at the moment. I'll just stay out here for a sec. So Terry's just hooked his cable into the cabin there. And I'll sneak round the corner here and he'd be sitting in here with his laptop in the comforts. Morning, Terry.
Morning, Howard.
Mate, sounded nice and sharp this morning.
Yeah, we're pretty happy with the way it's running. We just took a little bit of fuel out of it for today.
It had that nice sort of crisp.
Yeah, very crisp today.
Yeah, so be good to see how it all goes. So this morning, what's happening?
We're having hot laps, so each boat will get out on its own and set the fastest time it can, and that will then determine the placings in who they run against. They'll try and match the boat speeds as best they can. Each race will have 4 boats in it for 3 or 4 laps, and then out of those they'll choose the guys will progress to the next round tomorrow.
Cool. All right, so I'm going to head down to the boat ramp because I love getting down there and seeing them launched and go out, and will be interesting to see how they all go.
Excellent.
Morning, Chris.
Good morning.
Mate, nice to see a bit overcast.
It is.
And they tell me 40 tomorrow or something.
Yeah,
So that's going to be a bit crazy.
It's another 20 degrees inside that cell when you
Well, I
close the
hadn't
lid.
thought of that, I suppose. And
Yeah.
of course, you guys end up sitting down waiting to go out sometimes for
that's the worst part
5
of
or
it.
10
actually.
minutes.
Yeah,
Mate, I'm really taken in by on what you guys are up to here. So obviously a Barra.
yeah,
And I did a bit of footage of it last time when I come up in September. And clearly, you know, it's a whole new ball game
yeah.
in boats. So how did you end up getting caught up in the Barra?
Well, we used to run a Dodge NASCAR engine in 6 litre.
Yep.
We're looking at moving up to the unlimited class, but didn't want to keep importing everything from America and promoting overseas products. Also, not a big fan of superchargers.
Yep.
My personal view is it's old technology. I think turbochargers is the way to go.
Definitely a new range. So we'll go and have a bit closer look. You can explain a bit about what you're up to.
Okay. What would you like to know?
Well, I guess I haven't sort of got hooked up in the turbo side of it at this stage, but just a bit of background on basically the base engine and then what you got hanging off it.
All right. Well, the base block and head castings and everything is just Barra.
Oh yes,
4 litre
all
Barra.
Ford. Yep.
We obviously haven't. It's not the standard Ford crank or anything. It's a D-stroke steel crank with steel rods, and we actually got sponsorship from Carrillo,
Yep.
CP. So we're got custom-made pistons and everything in it. Head's been extensively ported. Different camshafts.
So the engine side of that's something you guys do, or you do that in-house, the engine?
Yes.
Yep.
Yep. I do most of the assembly work, all of the fabrication type thing. I've got a lot of sponsorship and help from Pat Purcell. He used to do touring cars, V8 supercar type stuff. For Peter Brock, quite a famous name. Also get a lot of support from Tate Healy from GPA Garage, and sponsorship from Pulsar Turbos.
And I mean, you've got to have it. The sponsorship. It's just, I see there's another one, a lookalike. I guess that's your brother.
Oh, yeah, big brother, yeah.
Yeah, big brother. So it's a family affair. So have you done much testing since September? Because obviously the whole, the whole turbo lag and stuff's an issue.
We was very disappointing September meeting, but ended up with had a lot of trigger issues and ignition issues.
Right.
And it turned out just to be development work really, getting appropriate well settings for the coils. Yep. It turned out that they would actually burned out a couple of coils, so having too high well settings for the amount of boost we're running. And also had a bit of water get into some of the wiring loom. Right. So replaced the whole wiring loom with a mil-spec tin wiring loom since then, trying to alleviate some of those issues. And
so it'll be good to see
we think now we've finally got the problem solved, and we should be able to give it a red hot go today.
Sounds good. So it's interesting, on the YouTube channel I put up blown boats on our thumbnail initially.
Yeah.
When I changed it to Barra Turbo, off it went. So there's a lot of interest to see how you go.
Yeah, no, I was actually very, very surprised the amount of followers we get, and very appreciative of it.
Yeah.
And actually a lot of people come in and wish us well.
Yep. Well, mate, good luck on the weekend, and I'll be hanging out to see it run.
Good on you. Thanks very much.
Lovell's GVM Upgrades offer one of the best suspension upgrade solutions for serious load carrying, towing and off-road adventures. Find the nearest Lovell's store to you at lovellsauto.com.au. So I've got Dave here, mate. Beautiful boat, and I must congratulate. When I was up here the other day, your team is a standout with the two boats and your rigs and the whole setup. Bloody awesome, mate.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
So, mate, I'm just trying to drill down a little bit more into what goes on with this. So, how long have you been playing this game?
I started in 1987.
87.
Yeah.
Righto, so a few years back.
Yeah, in Unlimited.
Yep. Straight up.
Yeah, straight up. Injected big box started with.
Yep.
That was in a 19-foot old like Hollycraft Everingham boat in those days. It was an ski race boat. Then bought a 1906 Pete Smith. Then went blowing.
I went blowing
for about 1990. And I've been doing it ever since.
Been doing it for a long time,
Yeah.
and it's the blowers have grown a lot, haven't they?
The whole thing is, you know, from the old days, you know, like 100 mile an hour was fast. And everyone's 145, 150 mile an hour horsepower. You're going from 1200 to only 2,500.
So, Chev based, I imagine. By the
Yes,
look
it
of
is. Yep. It's a mill and 3 block, Big Chief head, dart heads. It's got Carrillos in it, JP pistons. It's all good gear. That's the guts of it all. It's got to have good stuff for it to last.
So, how often you got to freshen something like this?
We've got a gauze oil filter in it, so screen in it, so we can
Yep.
see it. So that tells us how things are going. I probably every couple of years.
Oh, that's not bad.
Well,
I mean,
it's all
you
about-
know, I've been a lot to the drags and stuff, and
It's all about maintenance.
yeah.
Maintenance setup, and and you keep it safe, and you lay it on a bit more when you want to, but it's all about maintenance and looking after it. And you look after it, you get more out of it.
And much in the computer side of things.
The Motec, yes, definitely. That's your insurance.
That's the insurance.
That's what I call it. That's
Yep.
the insurance policy. So Motec tells you everything, and that's another thing too with doing engines, rebuilds and stuff. The Motec gives you a good insight of how things are going. Fuel temperature, manifold temperature, oil pressure, fuel pressure. Each cylinder has a sensor in it for temperature as well. So that is, you've got to have one. That's your insurance for the whole deal.
Mate, it's show car quality. I'm a show car builder, and this thing's amazing.
Well, yeah, I look after it. We spend a lot of time doing anything on the boat, and I have a full-time guy that works for me and looks after both the boats. So they get a lot of attention, love and care. And I actually bought the boat back in 2001 off of Mark Lewin, and the boat used to be called Lease Cannon. Tony Walsh drove it for Mark. He'd won 4 Marge Watsons and a lot of other big races. And when Mark sold the boat to me, I didn't know engine or nothing in it. The deal was I'd look after it. I said, don't worry about it, mate. You'll be looking at $1 million all the time.
Well, mate,
I think the boat looks better than me. I'm getting older and the boat's still looking pretty good.
I think it's bloody wonderful. And I showed it last time. I love the Australian flag sort of
Yep.
shadowed into the deck as well.
I'm very patriotic.
Yeah, me too, buddy.
Yep.
I'd fly a flag every day of the week.
Yep.
Mate, well, it's an absolute credit to you, and I'll be hanging out to watch the next couple of days.
Yep.
I'm sure you'll be up the top like you were last time I was here.
Yeah, it's going to be hard. There's some really good. Well, we've got the best of the best.
Best
here.
field, man. It's unbelievable.
You'll ever get. I have my own personal goal. I sort of, if I can get where I think I can get to, which is really to be in the top, between the top 5 and the top 10. If I can finish in the top 10.
So how many boats in the final?
There'll be 5.
That'd be nice.
It would be good. So, but it's going to be a lot of hard work. There's a lot of good boats, a lot of good drivers. The quality is exceptional, and it'll be no easy game for anybody.
And I mean, there's a lot in the driving, and it's not a matter of just sticking your foot into it.
100%. Yeah, and everyone's going to contend with the rough water and other boats, and Windsor here's not as wide, so they're all big boats.
I mean, coming from drag racing and stuff, a lot of it's computer controlled and all now. And I imagine out there, you don't know what the track's doing. You got no idea. No idea where the holes are.
No, you try to see what you can see and point in the right direction. There's only so much you can move away.
So how's your visibility now with it being sort of in the module compared to?
It's great.
So better than it was when you were sitting outside?
When we were gladiators of the sport in those days, so your arms was your seatbelt, steering the boat and keeping you in the boat. You don't realise you sit in the actual capsule and get belted in, you got your air and your mask on, you seem to have more time because your body, you're not fighting everything to stay in the boat, where now you're in the boat and you're steering it, you're driving.
I can remember, like in Dad's boat at 65, 70 mile an hour, your cheeks are flapping and your eyes are watering. And
100%.
Really hard.
100%. And I mean, it's, it was the best move the association made, some 12 years, 11 years ago, and it saved lives. And, we've had a lot of other incidents and people have survived, which is great.
And you're going 50% faster.
100%. Yeah. It's when I first started, we were doing 114 mile, 115. Maybe some might have been doing 117. But now everyone's on that 140 plus.
Yeah, crazy, isn't it?
Especially down the first chute when the flag drops. You'd all be doing your 145 to 150.
Yep.
And then your second lap, it eases off a little bit, but it's still in the mid 40s. So, but it's
Mate,
really good.
thanks for your time.
Pleasure.
And I'm hanging out to watch the race in the next couple of days.
I hope you enjoy it, and thanks very much.
Thanks,
Have a
buddy.
great day. Cheers.
Thanks, buddy.
Thank you.
Mate, pretty impressive, these guys. I know that the presentation is absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah, these guys put up an awful lot of work into their presentation. Out of Adelaide, my club.
So they've got a couple of boats normally. So this one's what, 6 litre?
Yeah, this is a 6-litre NASCAR engine. Everyone used to use Chevs and Fords, and then we started with a NASCAR engine, and then everyone leapt on the NASCARs.
So you were running one of these yourself?
Yeah, we're the pathfinders for the NASCAR engines in the boat, and it went so well, we actually beat his dad with a blown big block, and then everyone went NASCAR.
So how long ago was that you were?
Well, about 10 years ago now.
Yeah,
maybe
okay.
12.
Because there's been a couple of these turn up in some of the burnout cars.
Oh, yep. They're getting really popular. We were able for a while to buy them out of the States. They changed class rules a bit, so a whole lot of NASCAR engines available. So we grabbed a lot, and it was much cheaper than building an engine and much more powerful.
So what's the main thing that you had to sort of adapt to go from obviously roundies in NASCAR to be running in a boat? Because boats are very unique, aren't they, in what you need?
Yeah, they are. So getting the gear ratio, it was right, because the NASCAR engine can run to about 9,500 revs, and that's not what the Chevs and the Fords were doing. So we had to change the way we geared them, change the way we propped them, but they just drove really, really well. They just keep making power through the power band.
So when do they come in? So what's the bottom end of the power?
Oh, we were probably coming off the turns at 4.5, I think, from memory, maybe 5.
Yep.
And then just stand on it and go out to about 9. And that was in probably 500 metres.
So there's a lot of technology in these that a lot of people probably can't see. Things like the cavitation and the prop side of things.
Yeah, the prop and the cav gear is really, really important. So the cav gear, all of those struts are connected to a pedal, and then going into the corner and around the corner, depending on the hull type, you push the plate down, it pushes the nose of the water down into the boat into the water, and it acts like a turn fin and a brake. It washes all the speed off the boat, holds it in the water, you can turn really tight, then you get off the plate, freeze the boat up, and you accelerate away. And as the water roughs up in a race, you tend to push it down again because you get too loose.
And then I say then there's a whole lot of balance between not enough and too much, and whether
sure
you're going to
is.
get airborne or not.
Yep. I know my coach at that stage, he came up to me one day here and he said, you need to start using that other leg or you're going to have a swim.
All right, we might go and find another one to have a look at.
Righto.
So I've just Terry's lined me up with Brett here from Unleashed. How you going, buddy?
Good mate, how are you?
Good, mate. That's a big supercharger.
Yeah, it's a Whipple screw blower. I think it's a 980R they call it, or a 980R Whipple. We're putting about anywhere from 32 to 35 pounds of boost into it. Yeah, makes it mumbo.
Mate, it's pretty insane, really. I mean, as you know, just telling you from a car background, and obviously I've been to the drags and I've been everywhere, but to see 4 or 5 of these out on the water, it really is phenomenal with the fact that you're on it, you're off it. The ability to manage all that power and get it all down to the water is really outstanding.
Yeah, well, you've got to have obviously good propeller, good tune-up. Obviously there's a few different parts of the tune-up. Obviously you're on the throttle, you're off the throttle, coming out the corner, you're at different revs, so the tune-up's probably one of the most critical things in it. Obviously to keep the pyros and everything right.
And I see the boys just taking the laptop away. There's obviously a bit of computerisation nowadays.
Yeah, Motec, just on pyros, oil temperature, oil pressure, boost, you know, all of that sort of stuff. It's just make sure we're maintaining the engine all right.
So, what sort of speed are you up to nowadays?
The top speed's done is 150 mile an hour. Last time we were out in it up here, we did 148. So if everything's going right, anywhere from 145 to 150.
So when my dad used to race an old 302 Chev a long time ago, I reckon I was in that at about 65 mile an hour and it feels really fast, so 140 is unbelievable.
Yeah, well with the cell, you don't obviously feel the speed as much as you used to. But yeah, they're still...
So were you driving before the cell started?
Yeah, I had an open boat, yeah, which used to run, you know, mid 140s, low 140s in an open boat. So you could feel,
you knew you were going.
Yeah, we knew you were going. Yeah.
So tell me a bit about the cell.
Well, the boat's a 21-foot child's play, which is built up at Lower Portland by Rob and Gary Newell. They've fitted the cell, which is out of an ex-drag boat. So they've just made it to suit our application, and they've just redesigned the deck and everything to make it all look nice and sleek.
So pretty much if you come undone, you're pretty much in a sealed cockpit with your oxygen and all.
That's it. So you're stuck in the boat, the cell doesn't fall out or shouldn't come out. Obviously we've got air on, we've got radio on, and obviously seat belt and harness device and everything.
So how long have you got for them to get you out?
If you don't panic in the boat, they reckon you can breathe under the water for probably 15 minutes on the bottle,
okay.
But I don't want to find out.
You don't want to be under that long.
No. So yeah, everything there, it's all the standard sort of gear, 20 amp Pro Mag. It's a Keith Black, this one, Dart 410 heads on it, running about 30 odd pounds of boost. It makes, I don't know, at a guess, somewhere around 2,000 horsepower.
Yeah, maybe a bit more.
Yeah.
So you run through a V-drive, obviously.
Yeah, that's it, there's a billet.
So do you have to vary your step up much by one course to the other, or is it pretty much the same?
That's running 70% over. So if the motor's revving to 7,500, that'll be going 70% faster. So the gearbox could be spinning at like 12,000 revs, or the propeller. Where it's 70 over, look, you technically make the motor work the gears.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So most courses are very similar. Some are a bit tighter than others, but some courses you might pull 76, 7,700, others you might only pull 7,400.
So when you're coming out of the corner, what are you down to rev-wise?
Yeah, good question. Maybe like 3.5.
Yeah.
And then obviously
Because
you've
they
got
pull pretty hard from down there.
Yeah, that's it, under acceleration. So you're trying to get it from doing 3,500 revs and maybe 65 mile an hour to 150 as fast as you can.
Yep. Mate, very cool. And I'm a bit of an Aussie flag guy. I like that. It's a nice touch.
Bull Terrier.
Yep.
Yeah, sort of named after my old dog.
Awesome.
Yeah, Unleashed.
All right, Brett, thanks very much for your time, mate.
No worries. Cheers, mate. Bye.
So Terry's just brought me over to show me Rhonda's boat, and Rhonda's been out for a little while, and she's back in. Mate, looking beautiful. I love the colours, the way it looks.
Very bright. No.
So how long has it been like this?
This is a new old boat. A very so this one we put on the water 6 years ago, probably 2016.
Okay. Yep.
But it's not a brand new boat.
Right.
Like it's one that my husband Michael did up, like one of my other boats that crashed and destroyed itself. Not with me in it. We had sold it at that stage.
Yep.
So.
Well, I love it. I reckon it looks really cool, and it's a name that I recognise with the Everingham.
Yeah.
So what sort of engine we're running?
It's got a 308 Holden.
Well, that's fairly unusual in itself.
It's very unusual.
And does it stay together?
Yeah. Like my husband Michael was a real expert with Holdens.
Because I'm a big Ford guy, and everyone knows I'm a Ford guy, so that's why.
Well, actually, funny thing you say that. This has got Ford injection on it.
Right. Okay.
Michael
Cleveland by the look of it.
Plate to fit the injection on it.
That's why I'd never seen that set up before.
Yeah. Like we couldn't, when we started to do this again, we couldn't get that in the whole.
We'll just wait for that boat to go away. So, what sort of horsepower are you making?
Oh, gosh, I don't know.
You're not sure? That's
No,
all right.
I
We can
don't
ask
know.
one of the boys that. But I was just, before we went on air, I heard the discussion that you've basically come down a couple of classes, and I think it's pretty cool that in these sort of events, the big thing we can hear out there now is doing about 140 mile an hour. The next class down is what, 115 mile an hour?
No, 105.
105.
You've got 105 and then you've got 95.
Yep.
And then 85.
And then 85.
And I've opted for 85 for this weekend.
So I think it's pretty cool that you're still on the water, to be honest.
Yeah.
And what I like about it is the ability to be able to do that and make the decision. So in our game, I'm a show car guy. If you build an elite car, that's what you've got and that's where you stay.
Yeah.
But with this gives you an opportunity. So in the 85 class, you're just limited. You can go as fast as you want as long as it's no more than 85 miles
That's
an hour.
right, and that's what this is.
Yep.
You have to have a GPS on you.
Yep.
And when you come back to the ramp, they read your GPS, and if you're over, you're out.
So what have you got? A big gauge that tells you how fast you're going?
No, you just got to know.
You got to know.
You just
Seat of
gotta
the pants.
know.
Seat of the pants.
And the 85 will be a bit difficult for me, but I'll have to get the gist of it in the first race.
Because you're going to have to slow down.
Yeah, because I've been running 105.
Yep.
So I'll have to have a bit of a fiddle around in the first race.
Look, thanks for having a chat to us. I think it's
No
really
problem.
cool, and I'll be looking forward to watching the next couple of days.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rhonda.
Thank you.